know. Did you see those alpha zombies?
No,
they had those huge, thick, swinging cauliflowers growing in their garden. Yeah.
Cauliflower?
No,
Don't you mean
the cauliflowers. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to another review. Today we're going to talk about 28 Years Later, the third movie in the 28 Days, 28 Weeks trilogy. A group of survivors of the Rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors.
Rated R.
Aaron Taylor Johnson plays Jamie, husband to Isla, and I think stepdad to Spike. The trailer makes it seem like he's the main character of the film. Aaron's performance was fine, though sometimes it didn't feel like his heart was really in it. I actually found his character to be pretty unlikable from the beginning. Maybe he's supposed to be. Jamie is supposed to be like a father figure to Spike, but he comes off pretty selfish in quite a few scenes. Like he's using Spike for his own personal gain. Jodie Comer plays Isla, Spike's mother and wife to Jamie. She has been stricken with a mysterious illness that no one knows how to treat. But it's not the Rage virus. She gets migraines and she has cognitive and memory issues. Jodie does a good job with her role, though it doesn't seem like she was giving a lot to do. She floats in and out of lucidity throughout the film, and when we finally do get a diagnosis, it's pretty meh. It felt like a waste of a good actress. Ralph Fiennes plays Dr. Kelson, a mysterious stranger who lives in the wilderness alone. Dr. Kelson is a mysterious character because the writers gave him no backstory. He's just a guy who used to be a doctor and now makes bone sculptures. More wasted potential. I liked the character, though he wasn't giving much to do either. He is kind and benevolent, willing to help others. The final character, who was really the star of the film, is Spike, played by Alfie Williams. Spike is the son of Isla and I think the stepson of Jamie. He's only 12 years old, but Jamie believes he is ready to start hunting and foraging outside the village walls. Spike is very protective of his mother. He looks up to Jamie, but there seems to be some kind of uneasiness there. Alfie Williams is the standout for me. He really brings his all to this role. His fear, bravery, and protective nature are all on display. I got a feeling he'll be a noted actor for some time to come. This movie probably had one of the best trailers that I have seen in a long time. Strong and interesting visuals, just enough details to really pique your curiosity, and a haunting poem called Boots, read by Taylor Holmes in 1915. I think it was the perfect way to generate interest in this film. It felt dark and mysterious, and it's those expectations that made the actual film more disappointing. The film opens up on yet another flashback sequence of a family at the beginning of the infection. This part of the film felt the most horror-oriented. We barely know the characters, but the situation is a throwback to the first film. It's fast and brutal, really giving the zombies a sense of danger that is unfortunately missing from the rest of the film. We then get literally 5 sentences on the screen describing the state of the world today. That's it. And if you're familiar with Alex Garland's writing, then this is no surprise to you. It was also my biggest fear for this film and my main complaint. Now, Garland wrote the first movie 28 Days Later as well. And he just has this incomplete writing style. Some things he'll give you a lot of details about, and other things he'll barely explain. This style is the exact reason why I felt Garland's other movie, Civil War, was way overhyped. 28 years later raises more questions than it answers. We find out that the infection is still quarantined to the UK. No mention of the ending of 28 weeks later. Just that fact is crazy to me. It's been 28 years and the virus still hasn't been eradicated? No advances in making a cure? They mention that there are military boats from other countries that patrol the water around the island. So that means that the world still exists around them. So why haven't the people been evacuated? The movie is thorough, showing everyday life for the island. We see farming, kids in school, carpentry, livestock, but all of this is happening under the watchful eye of other countries? Sure, you could claim that the rest of the world has adopted a no-contact type of policy, but that's not mentioned in the film. What's the harm of airdropping some supplies in for them? Like pallets of food, weapons, building materials, medicine? You know, just because they're quarantined doesn't mean they should be abandoned. It's been 28 years. Not to mention that all the zombies in the first movie died by the second movie because they starved to death. As I said in my review of those movies, the zombies cause mostly body harm without eating their victims. But 28 years later, the zombies are still thriving, eating wildlife. Did they not eat wildlife in the other 2 movies? Or did the new alpha zombies teach them this skill? The alpha zombies are the very tall zombies that are shown in the trailer. It is mentioned in the film that they do seem to be smarter than the zombies they lead, but that's all we know about them. There's no explanation for their existence in the film. Again, Alex Garland's writing style. Anyway, Jamie takes the 12-year-old Spike outside the city limits for his first hunt. We see that the town is on an island that is only accessible by a land bridge that is only usable during low tide. I really like this idea, and it's actually a real thing. The holy island of Lindisfarne has a similar road. It gives the island a sense of security and vulnerability at the same time. On this journey, where neither character wears eye protection, we see the duo hunt for supplies while dispatching a few zombies. I will say that this expedition and the movie overall is actually really breathtaking. The way director Danny Boyle captures the land is absolutely beautiful. Thankfully, Boyle refrains from using his usual quick, shaky cams during these moments. It allows the audience to really absorb these surroundings. Now, something that you probably heard about 28 years later is that it was filmed entirely on iPhone 15s, which is actually really interesting and impressive. I mean, obviously they didn't just go to the Apple store and buy a bunch of iPhones. These are professional grade versions attached to very expensive filming rigs. It's not like they just walked into the forest and started filming using their phones. And don't worry, the quick cuts and shaky cam do return, mostly in action sequences where the characters are on the move. It's not as jarring as it was in 28 Days Later, a welcome evolution of Boyle's filming style. There's also a new style introduced that's a lot like bullet time from The Matrix. I guess you would call it arrow time? And they use a similar method, setting up 20 iPhones on a circular rig to capture the action. This simulates a camera swirling around the actor without the use of large rigs. It allows for more mobility when filming on location. This technique is used quite a bit, and I can see how some people may say it's overused. The overall shot compositions and visuals are great. There is some weaker CGI here and there, and that was disappointing. Also, some of the blood looks CGI, which does take away from the gritty realness. And that same gritty realness is completely obliterated by the ending of the film. Throughout the movie, we see characters in mostly hand-me-down clothes, really drab and dull. Everyone lives a simple life, and it looks that way. But in the last 10 minutes of the film, we are introduced to a new group of characters that completely flip the film's aesthetic. Their outfits appear to be colorful and new, or at least well kept. They are draped in fine jewelry. It was like the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy walked through the door into the Technicolor land. They fight zombies with a cheesy 90s flair, akin to the Power Rangers. They even jump over the camera doing somersaults just like the Rangers did. It was a very startling scene. Now, I understand the idea of the characters. People who are reveling this life in the zombie apocalypse, rather than just living to survive. They are having a good time, like it's a game show competition. But throwing this scene in after nearly 2 hours of gritty survivor drama was certainly an artistic choice. And of course, we don't get any information about them or what they stand for, courtesy of Alex Garland's writing. There were some really cool dream or vision sequences throughout the movie. I really like the visuals of these moments, but sometimes they felt out of place and without explanation. Was a character having a waking dream, or was the audience being shown something secretive? We never find out, it just quick cuts back to reality. There are some pretty big plot holes as well. At some point through the film, we switch focus to a group of soldiers who are on the island. And that isn't a spoiler since it is in the trailer. It's another really odd plot switch, because we don't know why they are there, or how they got there. Are there more soldiers? Who knows? It is revealed later how the soldiers got onto the island, but it doesn't really matter at that point. The situation that led them to being on the island happens off screen and only leads to more questions. The other gaping plot hole is a spoiler, so there's your warning. Mute the video till the warning goes away, or use the timestamps in a video description to skip ahead. In a bizarre turn of events, there is a pregnant zombie. I know, what the fudge? No explanation is given. Obviously, she hasn't been pregnant for 28 years. So was she impregnated by a human? Or another zombie? Or more likely, one of the alphas? Somehow Isla and the zombie share a sweet special moment during the childbirth. No violence at all. The baby is born uninfected. And again, huh? So what is this newborn? A zombie-human hybrid? A new alpha? A regular baby? No clue. And that's the problem. Because again, this baby is a huge part of the later plot, but we have no information on it. It's absolutely frustrating. Well, that's it for the spoilers. I do want to touch on the soundtrack though real quick. For the most part it was fine, if not unnoticeable. But there were, for certain moments, a strange alternative pop music that was played, and it was really out of place. I literally sat up in my seat and looked around my empty theater to see if anybody else heard it. Overall, 28 Years Later is a confusing mess. It is visually striking, creating a fantastic atmosphere, but there are so many detractions. I know that I probably come off as an Alex Garland hater, and I'm not, I swear. I know that he's more successful than I will ever be. Okay, but maybe he could get like an assistant writer or a secondary writer who can help fill in the millions of holes in this plot. And I gladly volunteer for that, Mr. Garland. Now, it has been revealed that this is the ending of the original trilogy and the beginning of a new trilogy of films. Though this film was made before the new trilogy was greenlit. Meaning that this was the plot whether there were more sequels coming or not. And I don't think that works. There are some great performances in 28 Years Later, especially Alfie Williams, who I assume is going to be the main character moving forward. In conclusion, this is a hard film to rate. It really depends on how much information you're willing to forgive for being absent. As for me, I am giving the film 28 Years Later the placid score of 6 out of 10. I just find it so hard to view this film as complete with so much missing information. I don't think I should have to wait for 2 more movies to get a complete story. Maybe I'm demanding too much, but I don't think so. I am curious how these films will play out, so I will be seeing them all. How about you? Did you see 28 Years Later? Tell me what you thought about it in the secluded island of comments down below. And please like and subscribe so I can afford to get some pants for my alpha zombie. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Now somebody get me off this damn island.